a small creator, I just wanted to say that I believe in you. And that's exactly why we need to have a little talk. Now, there's a lot of advice that I can give you that's very tactical, like titles and thumbnails and gear, etc. But what will help even more than all of that is the stuff that you're going to fix today right up here. So there are 5 specific shifts that I want you to do by the end of this video. And if you do them, I promise you will get out of small channel jail and you'll stay out forever. So this one's going to sound the most unhinged, but just stay with me here. Waking up every day and knowing nothing has changed. No new subscribers, no new comments, no new views, day in and day out. And that voice that's like, are you being delusional? Is this really gonna happen? Like, this is some pipe dream that I've been sold. Like, those are the thoughts that start creeping into your head. But I want you to be delusional. That's a shift. I want you to be delusional on purpose. And I know how this sounds, and here's how it works. Sports psychology has decades of research showing that visualization activates the same neural pathways as actually physically doing the thing. That is why Olympic athletes mentally rehearse their performances in their heads just as much as physically rehearsing or practicing their performances. And I know this personally because I played varsity NCAA golf. That's right, I competed nationally and internationally in golf. And if you've ever watched golf or played golf, that you know that there is a lot that's going on in your head. You're on the course for like 4-5 hours and you are doing a lot of mental work to get the ball where you want it to go. And small channels, small creators, you guys love emphasizing your smallness. And what I want you to do is to stop doing that and start visualizing yourself as the big, successful creator that you want to be. So find like 1 or 2 creators that you're like, that I want to be exactly where that person is. Doesn't have to be in your niche. And I want you to act like you're that successful creator. Train your brain into feeling like I am that person. I am a big channel. I am a successful channel when you're filming, when you're creating content. And this next one is a struggle that none of you really commented on because no one actually likes to say it out loud. The whole, why did their video blow up and not mine? So a few years back, I had a friend that just started up a new YouTube channel and he gained more subscribers and more views in 1 month than I did in 10 years. He surpassed my YouTube channel in a single month. We're still friends. Now, most of you, when that happens to like a friend, you try to do the right thing. You leave a supportive like, but really you're thinking like, why not me? And the problem is your brain knows that you're lying. So even though you're performing supportiveness, you're showing supportiveness on the outside, you're really just like harboring that resentment deep down in your core. And every time that you reconfirm in your brain that, that creator got lucky, the algorithm is rigged, the game is unfair, you're just strengthening those pathways. And then what you end up doing is you end up creating out of place of grievance and frustration and anger instead of curiosity and joy and fun. And that translates into how you view YouTube, how you view everything. Slowly but surely, you just get this bitter negative taste on this whole experience. The shift that I really want you to make is I want you to be truly supportive of other creators in your niche, in other niches, on the whole platform. When you see another creator's video go off, they blow up, I want you to say, good for you. Not, good for you. It might start out like that, but you'll slowly position it to, good for you. Good for you. Good for you. And the more you do that, suddenly everyone else's wins isn't evidence that you're losing. It's evidence that it's possible. It's possible for you too. You can do that. This one is a hard one, and it's probably something you've been avoiding for a long time because a lot of creators do not like to admit this. So tell me if this sounds familiar. You grew up watching YouTube. You love YouTube videos. And so you were like, I want to do that. So you bought yourself the gear, you learned how to edit, you picked a niche for yourself, you started posting videos. But then some time goes on and you realize no one's watching your videos. And you start losing that momentum, that passion. You're wondering, why aren't people watching? Why aren't they, where are my subscribers? Where's my money? Why aren't I one of those successful YouTube creators yet? What's wrong with me? What's happening? But the question that would clarify everything for you, you never ask yourself. So I'm going to ask you it. Do you actually like the act of creating content, or do you just love consuming social media and imagining yourself as part of it? Think about it like this. Every 10-year-old kid who loves playing video games wants to be a video game designer when they grow up. Playing video games and designing video games are very different jobs. One is fun and immersive. The other is staring at code, fixing bugs, and iterating end on end at a desk for years for a product that might even just get shelved at the end of the day. Only a tiny percentage of kids actually want to do this option once they realize that that's what it entails. The rest just want to play games. It's the same thing with YouTube. Like, it's our job to make it look effortless and easy. But if you make YouTube content, you make videos, you make social media content, you know it is not. There's a lot of work that goes on. So I want you to ask yourself this, and truly, truly ask yourself this. Do you even enjoy making YouTube videos? Do you even enjoy making social media content? Because unless you do, and I'm not talking about like every single aspect, like, I could do without editing. It's not my favorite task in the world. You don't have to like love every aspect of it, but in general, you have to love most of it, because if you aren't finding the joy in creation, then you are going to end up burning out and you're going to end up quitting. It's okay to know this and to accept this instead of like wasting years of our life thinking we want it. So this next shift is what stops more creators than ever from potentially succeeding more than any algorithm or gear or SEO or any of that jazz. And you know this feeling. You just filmed the video and you're sitting down to edit it and you start watching it back and you hate it. You hate the way you sound, you hate the way you look, you hate your weird face movements, the things you do with your hands, all of it. You imagine someone you know finding that video and laughing at you, and you just feel cringe. And I know this feeling because when I first started out, I was in university and some fellow dorm mates of mine found one of my videos and proceeded to play it on their laptop out loud, so like on speaker, while they walked up and down the halls laughing where my room was, so like they knew that I could hear it, that I would hear them playing it. And I just sat there in my room, embarrassed and wanting to die inside and cry like while they did this. And I was 19 at the time. I was 19. Here's what most creators will kind of tell themselves. They'll get more polished, they'll practice more, and then they'll start posting and the cringe will be less. Or even when they have numbers like, oh, once I get like a couple thousand subscribers, it won't be so embarrassing anymore. But I have some bad news. After 20 years of doing it, it doesn't really get better. You're always gonna feel that cringe. I was a travel vlogger for like a decade. I filmed in public everywhere, at restaurants, in crowded spaces, on buses. I always felt awkward. I always felt embarrassed to be pulling out a camera and vlogging. You don't really outgrow it. You just kind of learn that it's like a tax that you pay. It's just part of the job. It's just part of the gig. And truly, you're never going to see those people again. Really? Like, whatever. They don't, like, who cares? Who cares? You just learn to care less about what they think and just do your thing. And here's the thing that's a bit counterintuitive though. As a smaller creator, being cringe is kind of an asset to you. Hear me out. The audience isn't expecting that you know exactly what you're doing because, look, they see your numbers and they know that you're just starting out. use that to your advantage. Don't try and look like an expert before you are one, right? Show the journey, show the messiness, the awkwardness. That is what's going to give you that relatability to somebody finding your channel. They'll be able to see themselves in you. Because like, I don't know about you, I find it very hard to relate to the big YouTube creators, right? Like I enjoy their content, but it's really hard for me to relate to them. Once you get to a certain level, that relatability just goes out the window. But people can relate to you. I feel like, especially when you first start YouTube, and I am so guilty of this, I'm just constantly hitting refresh on my analytics. A video pops off and it's doing well, so you're constantly refreshing your analytics, looking at those subs go up, looking at those views go up. Or a video doesn't do well and you're constantly refreshing, going, why aren't my subs going up? Why aren't my views going up? For the longest time on my old channel, I ignored analytics because it is so easy to just stare at the numbers and be depressed by them. You're looking for those fireworks, but no fireworks for you. You didn't get fireworks, you got a 7 out of 10 video. Like the analytics can be a bit brutal, especially when you're under 1,000 subscribers, because you want that validation. You want someone to tell you that you are doing good, that you are on the right path. And all you really have to go off of is numbers, because chances are you're not getting like a ton of comments to tell you that. You just have numbers to tell you that. So I want you to try this shift. And I know this is like counterintuitive to like what other gurus, YouTube gurus will tell you. And I want you to just ignore the numbers for a bit. Like not completely, but definitely on a day-to-day basis. Like once a week, go into Ask Studio and get it to break down your video performance of the week. And it'll tell you what's doing well, what's not, what you can improve on. You know what? I'll give you a prompt to do it for you. Just check the description. It's right there. Do this once a week, like a deep analytical breakdown, and ignore the stats for the rest of it. Or better yet, I want you to ask yourself, did the video you just make, is that better than your last video? And if it isn't, how can you do that? How can you improve your next future video? When you stop putting so much emphasis on the external evidence and just start looking internally on how you can just be a better YouTuber, you're gonna get a lot more joy. And I know I've said this a lot in this video, joy, but like truly, you need to be experiencing joy when you create. Now, if those 5 shifts are giving you a real kick in the butt and you're feeling motivated, this is the perfect time to go and revisit your why. You know, why you decided to do YouTube in the first place. Oh, you don't remember it? Good thing I have a video that walks you through the whole process. You can give that a watch right here.